Hey everybody, I am back today. I'm going to be playing with this super cute sketch from Laura Whitaker. Love this one. It looks really fun. I'm going to just do one little thing with that area. I'm going to make a shaker pocket. So I have these beautiful sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps. This is the Is It Spring Yet set. I'm also going to play a little bit with the red tape that is available in the Spiegel Mom Scraps shop. I haven't used mine yet. Here is our beautiful photo that we're going to be scrapbooking today. And we're going to play with my How to Kill a Kit with Style for April. So if you watched my kit video, you know that this is a hybrid kit. I printed out all of Chamel's original collection, all the papers, all the die cuts, and then I added a couple of things from my stash. So we're going to start with making the shaker. So I make my shakers super easy. I use a die cut metal die from Close to My Heart, and then I go ahead and I purchase their shaker acetate and foam. And I have both the square and the circle shaker dies from Close to My Heart. And this makes making shakers so super easy. So we are going to replace that square element to the right of the stitching with a shaker. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start by putting my shaker together. I'm just going to get the right little shaker square here. There's a bunch of them in this collection in these kits. And then when they don't have the shaker part, where like what would be the fill-in, they have it filled in with foam adhesive. So like pop dots that are already like pre-cut for you. And that works out fabulous. Now I am going to play a little bit. The acetate has one of those filmy things on it, and you just got to do this until the filmy thing decides to make itself known, and then you can go ahead and place it down. I use a little bit, just a couple dots of nuvo glue just to hold the acetate in place while I create the rest of my shaker, mostly because it is slippery and it will totally slide around. So I place the acetate down first. I use Miranda Weber as my Close to My Heart consultant. She is a fellow YouTuber here on YouTube, and I'm one of her VIPs. So I do really like that. I like that program, and I have lots and lots of, I buy lots of shaker stuff from her. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with this kind of polka dot paper. I want this to be the larger part of my layout. So that main portion that goes almost across the top of the page. So I'm going to just like kind of put that down. I set the acetate and the paper aside because that's going to allow that glue to dry really well. And then again, just trying to keep things from slipping and sliding. I want to use this kind of aqua blue colored paper as my background, but I decide that I want to trim it down and put a white border around it. I just liked, in my head, that just looked better, and so that's what I'm going to do. This collection tends to be on the cream side. It is not bright white, so I'm going to choose to back up or make the border in the starch white cardstock, the speckle tone starch white cardstock from the Cardstock Warehouse. This is my favorite kind of off-white color because it's not too off-white. I hope you know what I mean there. It's not too off-white. And I'm going to use this red line tape to mount my patterned paper to my cardstock. So I love the red line tape. This is really nice. I was very impressed with it. You get a ton on the roll and it's super sticky. And I'm also going to use it later on in my process to stick down my Scrap and Happy Studio epoxy flare, which I haven't done or tried yet, but that worked super good. So I add just a little bit of tape runner to the middle of my page, kind of get it where I want it, and then push it down. And that's going to hold that paper in place while I pull off the red line tape and get the papers adhered together really nice and strong. I wanted to add a bit of a pop of black and white. Some of the die cut elements that I want to use on this page are black and white as well, so I knew that it would all go together if I had that little pop. So I'm just going to map my photo with this black and white pattern paper, and then I'm going to go ahead and place all of that, the photo, the black and white pattern paper, and then this little polka dot piece. I'm going to go ahead and adhere them all together. And now that I know that my glue is firmly secured, the Nuvo glue that is holding the acetate, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make myself a little template for the back of my shaker, and I'm just going to kind of even it up a little bit, trim it down, because I want this pattern to be behind the sequins on my shaker, and the best way to do that is, well, what I just did. So now I have the background for my shaker, my window for my shaker. I just have to grab my foam adhesive that's kind of been off to the side, go ahead and pop it into place. Make sure it's really adhered well. Now I'm gonna grab my EK Success powder tool to get rid of some of the static. Just a tiny little bit on the inside of that acetate, kind of spread around. It doesn't affect the look of your shaker. Your shaker is still crystal clear. But when you put those sequins in, they're not going to fly every which way. Once I have those sequins all inside my little shaker, I'm just going to place that piece, pull the adhesive off, and then place the coordinating paper underneath on the bottom. Give it a press down, make sure it's nice and sealed, and voila! Easiest shaker ever. There is some beautiful stitching on this sketch, and while I love the way it looks, I don't stitch. So we're going to use these super fun rub-ons that are part of my kit instead. These rub-ons are from 49th and Market. I was a little worried about them. They're a bit old. They've been in my stash for a while, but they worked like a charm. I put 2 of the rows of stitching down together to create a larger, I wanted it to be a larger kind of pop of stitching. And then I took a couple more of those stitches and just created a little stitching cluster down in the bottom left. I'm actually on the hunt for these rub-ons. I'd love to get a couple more packs of them because I love the look of them, but I am not a sewer at all. I break sewing machines. So while I kind of go ahead and create these clusters and decide where I'm going to put some of these elements, I want to let you know that one of my fellow YouTubers and a fabulous creator, JQ Crafty is her name on YouTube. She asked if she could join me for this series, and I said absolutely. So her video went up super early, but I will link her channel below, and I would definitely go ahead and subscribe to her because I think she's going to be playing along with me for all of April and kind of be like a permanent guest designer, which is going to be so super fun because she is crazy talented. So make sure you head over, give her a big hello. Like I said, her video went up a day early because that's how excited she was to join me, but that's okay. Like I said to her, it's my series, and I say it's all right, so okay. I'm just playing with some of these multiple little die cuts that went with my paper. I had so much fun playing with this kit. I am definitely going to be playing with it again. In fact, I'm going to be playing with it for 80/20 this Friday with Natalie, so you can check that out. It will be the same kit, this little hybrid kit that I've put together. By the way, it is not little. I also want to let you know that I have been getting tons of comments and messages asking me about my process, asking me about my paper, asking me about my printer. I am going to create a video with all of the information on how I print and how I, all the nuts and bolts. My printer that I have, I know I've posted links in the Facebook group, Rediscover Your Stash, that has all the links to all the products I used to get amazing results with my printing for hybrid scrapbooking. But I was still requested that I do a video. So, okay, I'll do a video. But it won't be till May or maybe even the beginning of June, just because I have a lot of stuff on my plate right now. And I'm going to have to kind of figure out how exactly I'm going to go about shooting a video that's not, you know, like just a process video. So we'll have to kind of be patient with me while I kind of figure out the actual nuts and bolts of getting that video up for you guys. So now I'm pretty happy with the way these clusters look. I don't think I need to go ahead and add anything more to them. I think they look really fun. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start gluing everything down. You can see I added the epoxy flare. So I have the epoxy flare, the stitches, and the sequins to help break up the paper elements. I think it's important when you do hybrid scrapbooking, you're working with things that are all paper. So it's always a good idea to go ahead and have a couple of embellishments in your collection that are not paper. It gives it some more dimension and a little bit more interest. I'm going to use some foam tape and I'm going to pop up quite a few of these elements, again, just for some extra dimension. And I'm going to use that red line tape again. So this is the first time I've used the red line tape, and it's the first time I've used it on the epoxy flare, but I am so happy with it. The backing paper comes off of this one really, really nice and easy. You can see it just kind of pops up really quick and easy. And the nice thing about red line tape is the really only scrapbooking adhesive you can use to adhere rubber pieces down. If you use other kinds of glue, quite often the glue reacts to those rubber pieces and you end up with like mush, which is not cool at all. So red line tape is one of those things you kind of need in your crafty stash. I will leave my affiliate link down below to Spiegel Mom Scraps so you can grab some foam tape or some red line tape or some beautiful sparkly Is It Spring Yet sequins. I really, really love Spiegel Mom Scraps, her new adhesives, and I also love her sequins. And if you've been around here for any length of time, you know that already. So I'm just going to continue on here. I'm going to get all of these beautiful clusters that I have together all onto my page. I'm going to go ahead and play with this third epoxy flare. So I wanted to make sure I had 3. And if you look at my layout, you can kind of see how I have that diagonal design going. So I thought I'd put it on that line, but then I really wasn't liking it on that line. So in the end, I went off on my own and put it over here above the photo because that just worked better. And I felt like it allowed your eye to kind of follow those hearts a little bit. Yep, you can see here how I'm showing you the little triangle and it frames my photo. And that is where we are going to call this layout done. Thank you so much for stopping by today. You guys are all wonderful and I always love reading your comments and when you say hello. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button. I post quite a few videos and you will find lots of inspiration. Have a wonderful day. Bye.